Good day to all the viewers. My name is Nodi Yambo. Welcome to today's lesson, which is all about basic tools and equipment for the grade 8
Technical Studies B
learners. A mechanic is an artisan, skilled trade person, or a technician who uses tools to build, maintain, or repair motor vehicles. Every mechanic should have and know how to use the appropriate tools and equipments which are required to perform the mechanical tasks such as adjusting, dismantling, and assembling various components. Upon that background, this lesson will focus on the tools used by the mechanic working in the field of electricity and electronics.
The lesson objectives are to identify and apply the following basic hand tools and equipment: screwdrivers, pliers, solder wire or soft solder, soldering irons, solder sucker, pipe bender, and a reamer.
Now that you have your objectives, let us get into today's lesson.
Screwdrivers. Screwdrivers are the most widely used hand tools. The tip of the screwdriver should always have the correct size for the required task at hand. It is essential for the tip of the screwdriver to perfectly fit into the screw slot for proper movement. Screwdriver should not be used as a lever or chisel at all. The tip of the Phillips or star-shaped screwdriver should also perfectly fit into the screws for proper movement. Otherwise, an incorrect size will cause damage or be less effective. Once the tip of a Phillips screwdriver is damaged, it is a big challenge to sharpen it. Therefore, proper care should be implemented. Pliers. A plier is regarded as a multi-purpose tool in the sense that it can be used to grab or cut objects or to twist and bend wire. It is important to handle the plier with extra care when dealing with electrical applications. Soldering wire or soft solder. A soldering wire is a type of wire used widely in the electrical and electronics field to solder or join electronic components onto a printed circuit board or to join electrical wires. Heat source called a soldering iron is used to melt the solder. The thickness of solder wire differs depending on the application. Soft solder is usually made of a combination of tin and lead. When soldering, one must be very careful not to inhale the toxic fumes that are produced by the melting lead. Soldering irons. A soldering iron is regarded as a pen-like tool with an element that heats up the tip of the iron. It is used to solder electronic components to a Vero board or PC board or to join electrical wires. The soldering iron melts the solder, thus melts the Vero or PC board and the wire to produce a joint with high electrical conductivity. Care must be taken not to burn yourself when using the soldering iron. A soldering iron must be switched off when not in use. The tip of the soldering iron must always be cleaned with a damp cloth or sponge after use. Solder sucker. Solder sucker is a tool used to suck up additional solder from a joint as well as removing the solder from a joint in order to remove or replace a component. However, the solder must be heated until a melting point before it can be sucked up. Caution is important to avoid the damage to the solder tip since it is made of plastic. Pipe bender. A pipe bender is a tool used to bend piping of diverse materials, such as copper and steel, to form various angles and curves. When not in use, it should be stored in a safe place where people cannot trip over it. Reamer. A reamer is a cutting tool used for enlarging a hole or for removing burrs, rough edges, by rotating. The process of enlarging a hole is called reaming. Reamers can be used on plastic or metal objects.
Viewers, now that we have come to the end of our program, let's take a recap on what we learned. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, goodbye.